Yeah. Sorry, folks, a few minutes late. Just a bit of a chef's meeting behind the scenes there, wasn't it? When you get Kenny Atkinson, Daniel Clifford, and Michael together, chatting about all sorts of things. So, this gentleman goes under the guise of the man behind the curtain. Yes, or not you personally. Or well, the name of the establishment, head chef and director there. We're very pleased to bring him. See, what I was going to do was say, we're very pleased to bring you out from behind the curtain onto the stage. See what I did there? Yeah. But can we have a big round of applause for Michael O'Hare, please?
Thank you. Thank you for coming. So my name's Michael. I have a restaurant in Leeds called The Man Behind the Curtain. In that restaurant, we're trying to progress with our food in style and what we're doing on a plate. So I'm going to cook a dish, well, not necessarily from there. I've never done it before. But in the same style, and we'll do it here today. I'm going to cook with tissue, pork tissue. It's a cut not used in British butchery. The Spanish call it secretos de iberico, and it's a connective tissue between the shoulder and loin, but with perfect marbling. So it's like Kobe beef. I'm going to do that with an egg and some cinders to try and give a kind of barbecued, eggy pork dish for you. I've done quite a lot in advance, so sorry if I fly through it. But I also try not to bore you too much. So first up, I've got some free-range eggs, which I've smoked and then slow cooked in advance to give a kind of barbecue-y taste to the dish, but also quite a firm egg.
So talk us through the smoking process then.
Yeah, so they've been smoked with some gluten-free bread.
Right.
So I smoke the eggs and the bread together, and then with the bread, I soak that in with some water and a little bit of smoke essence and some beef stock and some ink, and just dry that out to produce kind of a cindery texture, almost like the wafer in a Kit Kat.
Right. Okay.
And that's going to go over the top of the egg for the crunch. There's then a pork sauce, just to nap it over, to give a kind of barbecue-y feel to the whole thing. I had kind of preempted this setup, so I tried to get as far ahead as I could.
You mean the camper van setup?
Yeah. It's not something I'm overly comfortable with.
So you referenced the fact that the Spanish use this cut of meat quite a lot. Is that somewhere you've cooked then?
No, it's not. The Spanish use the cut of meat because their pigs are killed at a larger weight. So we don't actually develop that in our sows. When we kill them, it's not at that point, but with the Iberica pig, the black Iberian pig, it's already grown and produced. And it's used with the cured Iberico pork. It's the bit they don't use for salt curing. So the butchers would take it kind of like our hanger steak, I guess.
Right.
So it was used for that initially. But it is starting to make its way over.
Guys, can we get the overhead camera? Will that show anything up? There you go. You can see a little bit what's going on there. Are we allowed to ask what you've just done there?
Yeah, you sure? Yes, I'm just searing that off without any salt because I forgot it. Do we have any about anywhere? Thank you. Yeah, just cooking that almost pink, like a medium steak. So I'll take it as high as I can on one side and then flip it over and do the other. Look at this, huh?
When was the last time you used one of them?
I've never used one of them. There's a really high fat content with this. We'll just try and render it a little bit rather than braise it out.
Yes, yeah. So it's interesting you say that you've never cooked this dish before,
No.
but you choose to do it like in front of a kind of
Yeah.
trade audience. But yeah,
I thought if I got bored and I didn't have anything to say, at least I could
Yeah.
concentrate. See how it goes.
But I think that's great because you're cooking from the heart, aren't you? You're just cooking. You know that these flavours will hopefully go together.
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
just-
I
yeah.
mean, it's barbecue, you know. It's egg and pork and ham and eggs. So there's no reason why it shouldn't work. I hope. I will just see how it goes. So I'm going to do something for NRB. I thought I'd play it direct onto canvas for it. We've got a few sprays, some beetroot sauce, and some ink that I put through also.
So you're saying basically in there you've got beetroot juice.
This is just straight beetroot juice, yeah.
Yeah.
Just to line the plate a little bit so it doesn't taste woolly. There's beetroot juice also going through my barbecue sauce.
You've got to get your timing right to get back on the other side, otherwise you get sprayed. And in the restaurant, do you serve on canvas normally, or is this?
Yeah, we do sometimes
Yeah.
for sharing dishes and things like that. It's just quite a nice format for expression, you know, if you want to play about with things like that. It's also quite interesting, I think, to see how people eat and the shape of it thereafter, you know.
So where have you been cooking before you came back into the restaurant? Where,
Before I came to
Yeah,
Leeds. Before Leeds, I had a little spot in York
Yeah.
called the Blind Swine, and that was essentially a rock bar. We did a multi-course tasting menu in it, and the idea was to have kind of a juxtaposition between, you know, the niceties of fine dining, but also the fun
Right.
involved in getting drunk. But I kind of grew out of that a little bit and wanted my own thing. So now I have a fine dining restaurant in Leeds. But before that, kind of all over really. I've bummed about a lot of my career, you know.
Oh, good for you, yeah.
I have, but I've enjoyed life with snowboarding and things like that, and it's better, I think. You can cook better if you're happy and you live a happy life. And I think you can commit your entire life in top kitchens and be miserable.
Right.
Or you can enjoy yourself and it'll show when you cook. So you can see the pork's really cooked quite rare. Just like a steak, and it's got quite a beefy tendency to it anyway.
So if we were going to come over to Leeds and looking for the restaurant, where would we find the restaurant?
The restaurant is on Vicar Lane. We're on the top floor of a clothes shop called Flannels. The shop's closed on a night time, and we just put a security guard downstairs, and it's got a little bit of a kind of speakeasy feel to it, I guess, albeit not deliberately. But yeah, Vicar Lane in Leeds. So then the eggs are on top. Like I say, the eggs just had a little hickory smoke through them. And I'll finish those just with the toast, the bread that I smoked the eggs with, straight over the top to form a crunch. And finally, a little bit of sauce. And the sauce is just reduced pork stock, beetroot, and some of the smoke flavors. And there you have it. That's me, box. So,
I think we always try to bring people that have got a little bit of character to NRB, and you know, some great chefs right across the north. So if you do want to come up and have a chat to Mike and have a look at the dishes, please feel free to do so.